Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to tonight's promotion ceremony. If you would, please stand as the class of 2021 from Hillsboro School is being led by Mr. and Miss Hillsboro, Casey and Killian Kramer. Eighth grade students, may be seated. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cameron Dish, and I'm the proud principal here at Hillsboro School. As some of you may know, I had the pleasure of teaching at Hillsboro from 2011 to 2015, so I know firsthand the magic that is created in Lieber's sport each day. Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate these outstanding young scholars. Somehow, some way, we have made it to the end of the 2020-21 school year. Ms. Herbert just asked, she said, is this more of an accomplishment for the teachers or the students? I'm not sure which one. But for the students seated in front of me, your middle school years have been far from normal. We all know the infinite challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, so I'm not going to highlight any of those again. Instead, I will focus on the broader significance of middle school and how the past 3 years at Hillsboro may have more influence on your life than we realize. Most of my friends have careers outside of education. Dentists, doctors, salesmen, finance professionals, just to name a few. And when I meet someone, they always ask, so what do you do? And I used to say, I work in education, but that brought on the obvious follow-up question, so you're a teacher. Since the conversation ultimately ended with, I'm the principal of a K through 8th grade school, I now start my introduction with the same line. The typical response is, oh my gosh, I hated middle school. How do you do that? And while the reasons may vary, almost everyone reaches that same conclusion. For me, I always wanted to be a teacher. I remember teaching my stuffed animals in kindergarten and being sad on the last day of school each summer. School is where I want to be. My teachers were more than instructors, they were role models and curated a desire for learning and growth that still exists today. I still remember the lessons that Miss Leisure, Miss Lindo, Miss Land, Miss Keebler, and so many others taught me through elementary school. Like many of you, the thought of middle school was exciting to me and my 5th grade friends. Lockers, freedom, and no hallway lines. I mean, what's not to like? While middle school had its fair share of excitement, there were also struggles. Sure, there was the question of who am I going to sit with at lunch, and the typical anxiety about a locker placement that was too far away from my friends. But there were also challenges with friendships, social dynamics, and academics. I still remember making my first B, and only B, in 6th grade literature. In all honesty, middle school was rough, and many of the same struggles that I experienced back then are still challenges for students in this room. So that brings me back to the question I'm so often asked. A middle school principal, why would you ever do that? Well, the truth is, I do it because middle school shouldn't be a time that people look back on with dread and misery. This is a time for young students to find themselves, explore something new, take ownership of their learning, and set a solid foundation for high school and beyond. It should be a time for growth and acceptance. It should be a time for joy. To the students seated in front of me, congratulations. You have likely endured some of the most challenging years of your life. And while there will always be new obstacles to overcome, know that your life is a limitless opportunity to be all that you want to be. My hope is that you pursue your unique interests and passions in a way that only you can do. The world has nearly 8 billion people and only one of you. When you encounter someone who thinks differently than you do, seek to understand, not to be understood. Listen more than you speak, and treat the other person like you would want to be treated. When you meet someone who likes a different hobby than yours, seek to understand, not to be understood. Listen more than you speak, and treat the other person like you would want to be treated. And when you learn that someone grew up differently than you, seek to understand, not to be understood. Listen more than you speak, and treat the other person like you would want to be treated. In other words, live like Noah. Be a yes-and person who meets obstacles head-on with energy and enthusiasm, treats others with undeniable kindness, and brings a spirit of positivity to all that you do. Just like we remember these traits in Noah, others will equally remember these traits in you. As you embark on your new journey in high school, I encourage you to be unapologetically you. Follow your heart, lead with confidence, vulnerability, and joy. In the wise words of Dr. Seuss, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. At this time, I'd like to welcome our Student Council President, Russell Gargis.
Hillsboro Elementary-Middle School. I really enjoyed looking back over my years here and the great memories, lifelong friends, and amazing teachers I met. To be completely honest, I don't remember much of my first day here. The nerves and stress I felt that day made it sort of a blur. To put it lightly, I was very intimidated by the expectations and the older kids, and I was not looking forward to 3 years here. But as the day went on, I was comforted and put at ease by my teachers. They welcomed my classmates and I into this new situation with open arms and kindness. And that's how it's been since. The people at the school have made us family by being friendly and helpful in every way. They've made my time here even more special. I've also had the opportunity to make some of my best friends here and grow my friendships with others. The moments in and outside of the classroom that I shared with them will always be some of my favorite memories. Even during the toughest times when we lost Noah, I saw this family come together immediately to support each other and Noah's family. Noah will always live on in our hearts as one of the nicest and most genuine people we have ever met. I will always remember the community I felt from being able to be sad and grieve with the people here. And I don't think that camaraderie and support can be found anywhere else. And I'm very grateful I've gotten to spend most of the important moments of my life with the people here. But not only have I been able to spend time with them, but I've learned very impactful lessons as well. I'm not necessarily talking about the ones in the classroom, even though those are important. I learned some very important life lessons from my experiences. I really learned a lot about hard work and the sports I played. My coaches instilled in me the value of committing to putting in the work to reach not only my potential, but the team's potential. And of course, that all did lead up to a conference championship in football. Nothing will ever match game days of me and my teammates hyping each other up and having the whole school cheering us on. I learned how to handle adversity after I broke my elbow and how to use that to fuel my passion for sports and the things I do. I learned how to hold myself accountable and how to have high standards for myself from Coach Shelton, always making sure we were on track. His ability to be open to conversation and take any question head on, I will always be grateful for that. I learned how to look at the bigger picture and be a strong, confident adult, and of course, embarrass my sister for Miss Cooksey. And of course, I did learn a lot about actual school, like that rocks are actually cool and not just pieces of earth. Thanks, Miss Looney. Or maybe it was the Pythagorean theorem, which even after learning it still sounds really scary. Thanks, Miss Muldowney. I even got to learn how to run the government, sort of, from Coach Hardison. His unconditional kindness and love for every student at this school will always stick with me. But overall, I think everyone here has matured at least a little bit. I remember starting here as a very quiet kid and kept to myself, to now being pretty loud, sorry Coach Shelton, and always trying to be nice to everyone. I look around and I see people who are not at all the same as when they came here, which is ultimately a good thing. The school has always allowed their students to grow and try new things, and that has been extremely important to everyone here growing as a person. These 3 years have really been a roller coaster. If you had told me in 6th grade there was going to be a worldwide pandemic that would flip everyone's lives around, I would have laughed at you and said you were crazy. But that quarantine only made things even more special. I really appreciate my time here even more because there's nothing like being in the building with everyone and getting to have real interactions face to face. Even though a lot of us have struggled with this year, it being very hectic and out of the ordinary, if I had the chance to do it all again, I wouldn't change a thing. We took this challenge head on and we made the best of it. Not the people or the events or even the classes would be changed because those memories will always stick with me and they will be important pieces of my life. This school is a family that will always stick together through thick and thin, and as we move on to high school, remember the times that we all shared together and be open to the unknown in high school. Remember that these will be the best times of our lives and we need to enjoy and take advantage of them. I must admit, I am sad that we are moving on, but Hillsboro will always have a special place in our hearts, even after we leave. So as far as what Hillsboro means to me, it means family, it means friends, it means kindness, and everything in between. Thank you.
Up next, we invite Colin Adams to read Hillsboro According to Me.
Hillsboro, noun, a town in northwest Oregon. Wow. When I searched up the word Hillsboro on dictionary.com, I did not expect just to find this. I thought there would be some weird definition that I could maybe break down in some cool way to relate it to this wonderful place. But this obviously isn't the only definition. So tonight, I would like to share with you, class of 2025, what the word Hillsboro means to me. When most students, including me, first came to Hillsboro, we thought it was just a school, but we were way wrong. What I've learned is that we are not just a school, but we are a community in a town of our own. I mean, we've been through almost everything together. We've had to deal with the small virus that formed across the ocean that ruined our 7th grade school years and still affects our lives today. We had to suffer with not having a teacher for half a year in every grade before us. And we've even had to experience the loss of an amazing human being who truly left a mark on everyone's lives, even if they didn't get to know him as well. We've even gotten to see great milestones in the history of our school, like the football and soccer teams winning conference championship trophies, or seeing Killian Kramer beat Jack Perry's kickball home run record. All of us in the community were also impacted by our everyday leaders. Miss Muldowney, I know we were a tough class, but it takes a great teacher to deal with us, and I thank you for everything you taught me this school year. Miss Looney, thank you for showing me that science is a lot harder than it looks, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. You gave me the opportunity to learn interesting facts that I would have never wanted to learn before, but now I'm glad I did. Ms. Hathaway, thank you for teaching me how to write essays so well that half the time I couldn't even tell if they were mine. And also, thank you for showing me how to stay strong through any situation. And last but definitely not least, Coach, I don't know how to put this in words really, but you showed me not just how to make yourself look like a history buff by knowing a bunch of cool Andrew Jackson stories, but also how to be a better person. You taught me how to respect others and to just be yourself, which is an important thing for everyone to know. Hillsboro, noun. I don't really think a town in Oregon is the appropriate definition anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong though, Hillsboro, Oregon is a beautiful place with its gorgeous pine trees and charming suburban homes. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to give the word Hillsboro a different meaning. So let's try this one more time. Hillsboro, noun. A community of strong-willed, loving students and focused teachers who do care, although it may not seem like it sometimes, and putting us on the right path to spread our gifts with the world. Thank you, and congratulations, students. We did it.
One of the special things about our school is that we serve K through 8th grade students, and we're the only school out of 50 schools in Williamson County that can boast that same stat. And while I like to say Hillsboro is a very idyllic place because of the K through 8th grade model, it also makes it equally challenging. And so it's a special place, especially for those students who've been able to be here for sometimes 9 or 10 years, depending on when they started. So we're going to recognize those Hillsboro beginners. And I have to say, this is one of the largest groups that we've had of students that have started either in pre-K or in kindergarten. So if we say your name, please hold your applause. Students, you can stand where you are to be recognized. We're going to start with those students who have been in kindergarten for the last 9, or who've been at Hillsboro for the last 9 years, starting in kindergarten. Achina Cantrell, Charlie Green, Olivia Jones, Shelby Jones, Tosin Scott, and Temple Wilson. Give them a big round of applause. And joining them, you all can stay standing, joining them are the long list of students who have been here since pre-K. Alyssa Anderson, Brooke Anderson, Adeline Gurley, Haley Howell, Hunter McCandless, Izzy Miller, Taylor Mitchell, Kenley Pewitt, William Polk, Aniele Ruiz, Jasmine Tidwell, and Gabriel Wiggins. Give them a big round of applause. It is crazy to think everything that you've been in school related has been in these walls, which is an equally good accomplishment and also an exciting challenge for next year. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jack Phillips and his reading of My Time at Hillsboro.
When I first came to Hillsboro, I was different because not only did I not know how to multiply 2 trinomials yet, but I also didn't know where I truly belonged. I've made friendships with people I thought I would never become friends with, and I've liked teachers I thought I'd never like. I have so many good memories of this school, and now I have even better ones. Like all the times we tried to trick someone into going outside early by saying the teacher already said we could go. This school is the best. The teachers here provide hope, laughs, and some of the best education I've ever experienced. And then there's the faint screams coming down the hall from either Coach Shelton's class or just Miss Sykes. No matter where you are or what you are doing, there's always someone, whether it's a teacher or student, that is there to look out for you, help you, or have your back. The teachers and staff here are amazing because they always make it about you. They always make you feel cared about and help you out on anything you need. I think that all the 8th graders this year have grown into awesome people, inside and out, and I'm excited to be going to high school with all of you going to Independence. I want to thank all the teachers we've had, especially Miss Muldown, since I've had her for 2 years at Hillsboro. She's a great math teacher. I want to thank Miss Hathaway, even though she's not here, because she's the best ELA teacher I've ever had and never left us like previous ELA teachers. I feel like she has prepared me and so many others for high school in the best possible way. I want to thank Coach Sheldon for not only making class fun, but also for never giving up on a person that didn't understand the lesson. He made sure you did. He's the most fun teacher I've ever had and taught me how to be the alpha male. I also want to thank Ms. Sykes for always being such an energetic and happy person and lighting up people's day. I want to thank Coach D and Coach Miles for being great soccer coaches for one of the best teams I've ever been on, and I know it wouldn't have been the same without them. It was scary when I first got here because I only knew the people from my elementary school, but now I think I can name everyone in the 8th grade. I'm going to miss this school and all the teachers and staff. Thank you.
And up next, we have Journey Jocelyn and her reading Hillsboro, My Home Away from Home.
Hello, family and friends. Thank you so much for coming to support us 8th graders here tonight as we take a huge milestone coming one step closer to high school. Hillsboro. This place means a lot to me. Hillsboro is a place I'll never forget. When I first came here, I was just a 3rd grader, an aggravating little 8-year-old. I grew up at Hillsboro. I felt a kind of love here I could never feel anywhere else, and it's going to be hard to leave this place. I'd be lying if I said I won't miss this community of people at Hillsboro. Hillsboro is a very important place to me, and the people here are like family to me. They have impacted me so much, and I'll never be able to thank them for everything they have done for me. I just know that this amazing class of people is going to make it out okay. I know the past few years have been rough for everyone, but truly, we all know that that's what makes us stronger. When you think of all the things this group of people experienced together, it's insane. I mean, a global pandemic? We made history this past few years. This time period we experienced is going to be on future tests and learned about in classrooms. And we got to experience it firsthand. This class of students also experienced loss together. Loss being no Thomas Evans, and that was hard. This group of people is missing one of the most amazing people I've ever gotten the pleasure to call a friend of mine. The grief we experienced was really hard. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But the amount of support and love everyone showed each other really goes to show how amazing and awesome this school and people really are. Teachers. This year, I've had the best group of teachers I've ever had. This year, every single teacher I had went beyond curriculum and taught me a lot of things I'll never forget. The first room I walked into every day was Miss Sykes. Miss Sykes is one of those teachers I will never forget, whether it's because you can hear her laugh from pretty much any point in the school, or because she embraces and has taught me to be myself no matter what. Next, I have Mr. Hardison. Mr. Hardison is the kind of teacher who will always make sure his students are okay. And speaking from experience, I know that he will always bring you tissues when you're crying at your desk. Mr. Hardison really cares about his students way deeper than surface level and is so amazing at showing it. And I have confidence in saying that he has truly taught me how to be a better person. Next, even though she isn't here, I have Miss Hathaway. Miss Hathaway has been an incredible teacher and such a role model to me. She is so open to her students and makes sure that we know how much she loves us. Miss Hathaway has taught me that you can still make a difference in people's lives and make your life worthwhile, even if you didn't come from a perfect background. She also hit some rough spots this year and still managed to show up and show us that she cared about us, and I admire and look up to that so much. Next, I have Miss Downey. And I know how rough our class was this year, and she still managed to teach us. Miss Muldowney has taught me patience, because I know that we were not an easy class to teach, but she still worked hard and took pride in helping us learn and trying to make class fun. Not too long ago, I was asked to write a speech about what Hillsboro means to me. And I just know there's no amount of words or things I could say to fully answer that prompt. But this place, these people, these memories, they all mean the world to me, and I'm so sad that my time here is almost over. But thank you so much to everyone who has made these past few years so memorable and worthwhile. Congrats, guys. We've made it.
I know the budget is tight, but we did pay to keep the arrows, so I'll just let you know. Up next, I'm going to introduce Ms. Herbert, our middle school counselor, with the President's Award for Educational Academic Excellence.
Let me remove my mask. I am proud to present the Presidential Scholar Award for Academic Excellence. This is a nationally recognized award for students who have received all A's their entire middle school career. So for every quarter in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they have had an A. Delaney Armentor. Certificate and pin, so as your name is called, actually come up to receive that. Connor Britt. Maddie Crichton. Abigail Denude. Brianna Doty. Russell Garges. Peyton Gordon. Charleston Green. Elizabeth Green. Elise Hendrickson. Casey Kramer. Killian Kramer. Hannah Lassiter. Avery Leichtman. Mary Maddox. Catherine McAfee. And Sadie Sharp. Congratulations to all of the Presidential Scholars.
And now I can bring up our President's Award winner, Charlie Green, and her reading, No Words Can Describe.
Thank you. 9 years ago, when I started at Hillsboro, I would have never guessed the impact it would have on me. So, when I was asked, what does Hillsboro mean to you? I stared down at a blank piece of paper with no idea how to articulate what I was thinking. Memories, achievements, and 9 years of my childhood really flooded my mind. How do you sum up kindergarten through 8th grade in under 5 minutes? Finally, I came to the conclusion that no words can describe Hillsboro. It's screaming for gorgeous at soccer games and getting ready for school dances. It is learning what classifies the mountain with my science table. And it is learning how to throw a frisbee for the first time. It's meeting the boy dressed in green. Hillsboro is love and it is growth. Hillsboro is a family. To know how much someone has grown, you have to first know how they started. Picture this. A wild 4'3" bundle of energy with bright blonde hair and light-up sneakers. Scary, I know. I walked with the confidence that would make you think I was a celebrity, and in our class of 20 students, I like to think that I was. Making my way through elementary school, I was always excited for class. I would wake up each morning, eat breakfast, and go to school with a smile on my face. Let's be honest, some days were better than others, but the teachers made it bearable even on the worst of days. Not only did I have amazing teachers, but also I made many amazing friendships. And many of the people I'm still friends with today I met throughout elementary school. After a long day, we would spend recess together playing tag without a care in the world. Looking back on those days is nostalgic, because it's where I first learned the value of good friendship. Now, after 6 years of bliss, I was introduced to the challenge that was middle school. Now, we've all seen movies about people changing middle school, but I never realized that my life would also totally transform. Algebra was just about to be the death of me. And honestly, my brain still doesn't comprehend the use of letters and math. But somehow, I managed. I stayed up late working on spiral reviews and watching Khan Academy math videos, while my teachers helped me to understand new learning targets. The change in difficulty was a shell shock, but I wouldn't change it because it's where I first learned the value of hard work. Middle school also allowed me to grow socially. Everyone was learning and adapting differently, and I soon had to realize that not all friendships are meant to last forever, but that they all teach us something. Looking back, I can see how much I have grown as a friend, a student, and overall just a person while at Hillsboro. And the Hillsboro community is something I don't think I'll ever be able to truly describe. For me, I found that community in many places. First and foremost, I formed a relationship with my math class. The past 3 years, I've spent a total of 540 hours in this modalities during 11 of them. Let that sink in. They've been there for me through the highs and the lows, and I wouldn't be who I am today without them. From games of charades after TCAP to jokes spilled across the class, I've made some of my best memories with them. It's important to note that it wasn't just laughter, but also a second family. The majority of people who reached out to me after my best friend passed away were from my class, and I can never thank them enough for that. We make fun of each other, but somehow that group of nerds made every day just a little better. Special thanks to Ms. Muldowney for putting up with us for 3 very long years. Because people make teachers sound mean, but really in the 9 years I've been here, my teachers have consistently shown that what they care about is how I'm really doing, not why I turned in the homework late. So, thank you, Ms. Loudon, for planting the love of theater in me, and Ms. Stewart for continuing to water that seed. Thank you, Coach Hawks, for believing in me, and thank you, Ms. Gibson, for being a friend. Thank you, Mr. Reese, who was always joyful, and Ms. Laney for the awesome cupcakes. Thank you, Ms. Carter, for the patience, and Ms. Howell for the tough love. Thank you, Ms. Cooksey, for showing me what strength looks like, even in the hardest of times. And of course, thank you, Senorita Fry, for believing in me, even when I botched up the accent. Finally, I'd like to thank every history teacher I had throughout middle school for making the path seem worth learning. Especially Mr. Hardison, who doubled as my therapist and allowed me to use his mini fridge.
and also like to mention Noah Thomas Evans. And although he wasn't a teacher, he taught me, and so many others, how to be a light in the darkness. Hillsboro's watched him grow from 4'3" to 5'7", from nervous to excited, and from confused to determined. It's where I learned the value of friendship and hard work, in a community and a place where I can be myself. Normally, I would just say Hillsboro is a school, but really, Hillsboro is a family. Thank you to all my teachers who have helped me grow into the person I am today. And congrats to every 8th grader here in the audience. We made it.
Charlie, I think your first year was my first year, because I remember that little 4'3" face. Last of our student speakers is another Hillsboro beginner, Jasmine Tidwell, reading 10 Years of Hillsboro Success.
I am more than overjoyed to have been here for nearly 10 years. Hillsboro is a place of good and bad, but the good outweighs the bad by a million tons. When I came to Hillsboro, I was lucky enough to be part of their last preview. During my arrival, I was Southern, not at all shy, and if anything, a little problematic. As I grew, I lost the accent, and in my opinion, got way better hair, and developed a personality to be more myself. I'll admit, if anything, I've changed for the better. I've made a name for myself and gotten more comfortable being me. There is no best part of Hillsboro. Everything sticks with you, and every good moment can never be forgotten. The people, the teachers, the events, they all stick in the back of your mind. They help you realize that no, life will not be easy. Nothing will ever truly be sunshine and roses. Yes, there will be loss, heartache, pain, but you'll find love and light in everything you do. Mr. Miles, the 6th grade history teacher, once said ever so famously, "You can't change the past, but you can change the future." The teachers teach life lessons. They'll make you see you for who you are. Once you meet these teachers where they can, they will change you for the better. Learning does get more difficult as you progress, but life does too. The teachers here make that known. The people, everyone, friend or not, is so kind as to offer you a hand in anything you may need. But the friends you make get you through the hardest of hardships. Hello, Hazelwood. Growing up, I realized that I didn't have many friends, and come 3rd grade, I started to open up. I opened my arms for new people, and started accepting myself for who I am as they made themselves known to me. As you meet these people and learn to love them, you realize that your life truly has changed. This has been something only Hillsboro has helped me to do. Teachers that certainly have changed my life were that of Miss Hudson, my preschool teacher that prepared me for the ride of school. Miss Ruiz, who cared more about my mental health than teaching me her subject. Coach Hawks for making the day better one laugh at a time to the OG Hillsboro kids that now I think we were all disappointed that we didn't top a C-score. Miss Tucker, who showed me how to embrace my inner writer. Miss Stumney, who became Aunt Stumney, loved me so much we had pictures together and left us way too early. Mr. Miles, again, who made me love history. Mr. Harrison, for putting up with me and Tracy's antics in the back of the room, but still gave his point through to us, even though Tracy was a cat. Miss Searcy for stepping in during the time of need and being there every step of the way, and still always giving early reading in the mornings. Miss Blackwell, for helping me in math and helping me step up by bringing me down to level. Miss Sykes for brightening the day before it even begins. Miss Whitlow for helping wherever needed. Coach Shelton for pushing us through history lessons been boring than any other teacher and made everything so much more fun overall. But most importantly, Miss Hathaway, who, like everyone has mentioned, is not here tonight, very sadly. And Miss Hathaway was one teacher I never really expected to love so immensely. She could really be summed up by the quote, "Never judge a book by its cover." And in my case, you could put it more as, "Never judge a book by its bad reviews." The more I got to know Miss Hathaway, the more I realized how much of a secondary mother figure she is to me, how accepting, caring, and life-changing she has been. So what Hillsboro means to me, words cannot describe. Hillsboro is more than a school. It is an experience, and really, you would have to be here to understand it. Thank you.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for, Mr. Lowry and Ms. Pisha will begin the presentation of certificates.
Everyone in the audience, as we're getting ready to call our 8th graders up, will you please remember to hold your applause until all of our students have been recognized? Thank you. Justina Megan Abdo. Colin Scott Adams. Ava Elizabeth Allen. Alyssa Mackenzie Anderson. Brooke Elizabeth Anderson. Delaney Hope Armentor. Savannah Breland Baldwin. Corley Addison Ballard. Luke Robert Barron. Emily Grace Barton. Maximilian Martin Beach.
Thank you.
Livia Tate Bennett. Emerson Page Behringer. Conrad Ethan Berry. Ben Jason Birdwell III. William Jarnigan Blackwell III. Peyton Cochran Brandon. Robert Isaiah Brandon. Alexander Jonathan Brill. Connor Thomas Britt. Kersey Achina Cantrell. Noah Emmanuel Carbonari. Brendan Jackson Kasner. Presley Rebecca Cody. John Buckley Cox. Nina Catherine Crenshaw. Madeline Ryan Crichton. Hudson Armstrong Davis. Abigail Josephine Damu. Preston Decker. Riley Holiday Dial. Jackson Connor Dillard. Elijah Reese Dillon. Madison Kate Dobis. Brianna Lynn Doty. Jackson Harlan DuPerry. Noah Thomas Evans. Christopher Richard Farrar. Madeline Charlize Finkel. Caleb Earl Fisher. Riley Glenn Fisher. Emmett DePaul Fortage. Russell Bunting Garges. Peyton Carl Gordon. Dane Christopher Gore. Georgia Janine Braver. Charleston May Green. Elizabeth Noel Green. Grady Landor Guptill. Adeline Ray Gurley. Sarah Stewart Harding. Jake William Harper. Elise Olivia Hendrickson. Nathan Samuel Hickam. Sarah Catherine Hickam. Connor Wilson Hilliard. William Carson Hilliard. Jacob Thomas Heinley. Evelyn Elizabeth Hines. Owen Milburn Hinger. Palmer John Holden. Haley Marie Howell. Guinevere Evelyn Ivanov Urbach. And Graham Edward J. Olivia Grace Jones. Shelby Ray Jones. Journey Faith Jocelyn. Finn Thomas Colbert. Trevor Joseph Condra. Casey Ray Kramer. Killian James Craver. Lillian Marie Herbatova. Let me do this again. I got it. Herbatova. Hannah Grace Lassiter. Avery Marie Lightman. Elena Jade Leonard. Alexis Marie Lincoln. Elliot Stephen Lindsay. Angel Manuel Lugo.
Mary Cole Maddox. Catherine Elizabeth Mack. Hunter D. McCandless. Faith Adami McDonald. Kieran Reed McDonald. Erin Elizabeth McVeigh. Michelle Mendoza Zadela. Titus Samuel Miles. Izzy Marie Miller. Taylor Grace Mitchell. Russell Moffitt. Jack Elliott Morris. Knox Alexander Reed Mullen. Charlotte Rose Myers. Mason Christian Myers. Shayla Devon Knight. Smith Everett Norman. Austin Orland Oaks. Emma Catherine Oakley. Tracy Stephen Oliver. Levi Thomas Painter. Landon Donovan Ray Parks. Ella Jane Peacock. Rodrigo Gomez Pedrosa. Kenley Marie Hewitt. Jack Dylan Crompton Phillips. Ryan Garrett Littman. Whittle Brody Cole. Zachary Cole Romine. Adeline Faith Roosevelt. Alex Maria Rothman. Dante Rosanska Bach. Aneli Maurice Ruiz. Lady Shay Rumo. Ava Renee Russo. Lucia Marie Russo. Ella Maureen Schaefer. Mary Park June Smith. Tosin Ruby Scott. Ava Catherine Sellers. Romy Rosabella Sensing. Abigail Lee Settles. Sadie Elizabeth Sharp. William Theodrick Smith. Sarah Ann Skordick. Walker Robertson Swires. Raphael George William Sikorsky.
Kylie Ryan Solstice. Abigail Priya Stovall. Rebecca Ann Stromet. Aiden Ryan Sullivan. Ainsley Rebecca Thomas. Jasmine Lee Tidwell. Taylor Franklin Tisdale. Colin Scott Temeski. Boone Lake Toplin. Christian Ryan Trimble. Rachel Wanwan Moody. William Friedrich Euchre. Isabel Elizabeth Van Hoagland. Tristan Wallace Langston. Landon Allen Way. Noelle Juniper Weiss. Gabriel Eugene Wiggins. Mercy Rose Willard. Archer Willett. Sophie Ann Williams. Temple James Wilson. Logan William James Young. Sylvia Caitlin Young.
Students make their way down the red carpet. Please join me in a big round of applause for the class of 2021. We got started a few minutes late. I think my clock says 3 minutes to keep it under an hour, and we're going to beat that goal. So on behalf of the faculty and staff at Hillsboro School, congratulations. You have persevered through more trials and tribulations than most middle school students will ever experience. We are so proud of all that you contribute to Hillsboro School in academics, the arts, and athletics, and look forward to cheering you on as you begin a new adventure in high school. I'd like to take this moment to recognize our incredible PTO, not only for their support this evening, but for their support this entire year. We laugh that they should really be paid at this point because they've invested so much time. But our president, Cheryl Plunkett and Crystal Brill, Lynn D'Amico for doing the programs, Ren Anderson for organizing the 8th grade promotion, Jill Cole for decorations, and all of their volunteers. Give them a big round of applause. We'd also like to thank Sign Gypsies, Letter Bright, Franklin Celebrations, Sweet Haven, Summer Sweet Shop, and Southern Events, that's a lot of S words, who all contributed to tonight's event. I'd also like to thank our team of 8th grade teachers, as well as our late arts teachers and other staff for their daily work in the classroom, supporting the academic and social needs of our students. You know, I know this year has been exhausting, and so I want to make sure that we recognize all that they've done. We join in giving them a round of applause. 8th grade students, I do want to let you know you have a sweet treat on your way out, so make sure you grab a cookie whenever you're leaving. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great night, and we'll see you for a half day tomorrow. We've got a lot of fun planned.